Last year, I spent $2.4 million on sports cards, not opening up packs, not chasing hype, actually buying real cards from real collectors. And when you move that much money through a hobby, you start noticing patterns most people don't see. What cards spike for a month, what cards hold value for a few decades, and where the smart buys and the smart money usually sits. If you don't know me, my name is Eric Michael. I've been buying and selling sports cards since 2015, and I've helped thousands of busy professionals learn how this market actually works. So in this video, I'm breaking down the biggest lessons I learned after spending $2.4 million on cards in a single year. And if you want the full breakdown and examples of everything I'm talking about, I put together a free PDF down below in the description that goes deeper on all of it. Let's get into it. Number one, vintage sports cards is the best investment of all time in terms of holding cards. And I'm comparing this to real estate, to stocks, and I really started buying vintage cards last year, like buying to hold. It was the first time I really started to buy a lot of cards just to hold. And I want to go over just a few of my results, okay? So, number one, I bought a John Elway Topps PSA 10 Rookie 1984, August 21st for $9,000. That card today is worth $13,000. I bought a 1933 Gaudy Babe Ruth, the Yellowback, a PSA 2.5 for $12,500 towards the end of last year. And the last sale when I looked was $17,600. Just to give you another example of a weird off card that's not, an Elway or a Babe Ruth. I bought a 1960 Hemetz Cassius Clay PSA 8. If you don't know who Cassius Clay is, that's also Muhammad Ali. I paid $12,433 for this card November 5th. You can see the sale on eBay. And the last sale, December 14th, was $13,800. I'm speaking today in March, so that next sale might be $14,000, $15,000, $16,000. With vintage cards, holding and buying to hold for a long period of time, the great thing about it is you could buy at a discount and get in really good if you know what you're doing. So buying a Tesla stock, it sells for what it sells for. Bitcoin sells for what it sells for today. That's it. But a Babe Ruth card that's worth $10,000, if you know what you're doing, you could get in for $9,000 or $8,500, and you're already making 10-15% off on your investment before you ever even realize any time, right? So vintage cards is just a tremendous investment. That's the first thing I learned. The second thing I learned is eBay auctions are the best place to buy while things are low. So vintage cards and modern cards, when they're low, there's no better place than eBay auctions. Let me give you an example. So right now, I'm looking to buy Jayden Daniels. Okay, Jayden Daniels, he's at an all-time low right now. 99% of the people that are going to sell you a Jayden Daniels card today is going to be losing money on it. So I want to buy these cards because they're low. Or best offers, card shows, kind of. It's very hard to negotiate with these people because they're taking such a big loss on it. However, an eBay auction, they have no say. It ends for whatever the market says it's worth. And that is a great place to go to buy cards while they're low, specifically modern cards and some vintage cards while they take a dip. That's number two. Number three, the third thing I learned, and this is a big learning lesson for me, and this was actually towards the middle-ish end of last year. Card shows are the best place to sell cards, period. That's it. Specifically setting up a card shows. The first card show I set up at, and this was I used to really not set up at card shows, was a Tampa card show that had about 200 tables, and I sold stuff like you wouldn't imagine. And I made a rule that I will not go to any card shows anymore unless I could set up. That's why the content you see of me is mostly set up now. And people are paying 100% of what it's worth in cash right there. You're able to do deals at a card show, specifically setting up 10, 20, 30 deals in a few hour period that would take you a month online. It's highly efficient. You obviously don't pay fees because people are paying you cash, and people pay very strong. To give you an example of a card I sold, so I bought a 1952 Topps PSA 1 Mickey Mantle on eBay later last year. You could actually probably see the sale. I paid $26,700 for the card. A few months later, this is about a few weeks ago while I'm speaking right now, someone just came up to the booth, wanted the card, paid $32,000 cash on spot, done deal. So it is amazing what people are willing to pay when they want something at a card show, because they go to these shows to find specific cards. That would be number three. Number four, in terms of the industry, it is steadily growing. So I'm not really worried about it taking a dip. So during the pandemic, it just, boom, skyrocketed. Anything that goes up that fast must come down. The market's just been going like this and like this and like this. So it's been growing at a very healthy, steady pace, which is good. That's a good thing for everybody in sports cards. And with something growing, so that's number 4. Number 5, what I'm about to talk about is this is the best opportunity to make money I've ever seen in cards. And I'm not saying that because I have a program and I teach people this stuff. I'm saying that because when something's growing, what does that mean? There's a lot of new people coming into it. So most people don't know what they're doing, right? They go on Whatnot, they open up breaks and packs, they send random cards to grading. I had a guy at this past card show I went to. I swear, this is actually kind of funny. He came up to me and he's like, hey man, I've seen your content and I used ChatGPT to build me a sports card plan to make money because I'm new to this stuff. And this guy showed me the cards he had. He had the worst stuff I've ever seen. It was like raw 90s and 80s stuff that was just worthless and he overpaid for all of it. But if you're watching this, I'm sorry, but I'm not saying that to make fun of you. I'm saying that to say that 99% of people don't know what they're doing. So if you know what you're doing a little bit, it's a tremendous opportunity to make money, right? Something like stocks, it's hard to make money. And that's why making 10 to 20% a year in stocks is really good, very competitive. Sports cards, not like that. You could triple, quadruple, 5 times your money if you know what you're doing because it is new and the competition is very little and it doesn't take much to be better than the average. So that would be number 5. Number 6, kind of relaying off of what I said before, is setting up at shows are not only the best place to sell, but it's also the best place to quickly profit. When you set up at a card show, you're not only selling cards, but people come up to you with their cards and will just say, hey, I have this card for sale. What are you willing to pay? And people are willing to give really, really good deals. At a card show, doing deals with vendors, kind of hard because they're vendors, right? They usually charge top dollar. But your average everyday Joe that's been holding a Josh Allen rookie card for 6 years, or just happen to open up a Victor Wembanyama gold select at a 10, which is what happened to me in a break. This guy sold this card to me for $4,200. The card was easily worth about $5,500 to $6,000. He just gave it to me for $4,200. His nephew pulled it from a break. I got it graded. It got a 10. I'll probably sell it for between $12,000 to $15,000. I'm going to give the guy a tip of $1,000 or $2,000. But those are the types of deals you can do if you set up at a show. But going to a vendor, good luck. Lastly, and I believe this is number 7, the best place to buy cards to get graded is or best offers on eBay. Okay, so buying raw cards to get graded, it's kind of hard with auctions because cards that are in good condition sometimes will get bid up and sometimes you have to overpay. But people who break love to just throw their crap on eBay and just receive offers, and there's tons, just so much of it. And piggybacking off of that, playing off of the hype and grading cards is bottom line the best way to make money. So if you're looking to get into cards and you have a few $1,000 budget, the best way to get into sports cards, despite everything I just said in this video, is playing off the hype and grading cards. So a good example of this, if you were buying Michael Penix cards to grade and you're sending them to PSA throughout January, like your boy was saying too, his cards have already almost doubled in value. His Silver Prism PSA 10 a month and a half ago, while I'm speaking right now, was $120. And today, while I'm speaking, it's $213, the last sale. So if you buy cards to get graded and they're going to take 2 months to sit at PSA, and you could get a card back from grading that not only got a 10, but went up 50% in value because you bought something really low, because all these new people in the hobby are just excited that there's Jackson Dart cards and Shedeur Sander cards. And they're not looking at the guys who just finished their season that had a below average season, but they are going to start this next year, and their team, like the Falcons, are going to pick up pieces, and they got Kevin Stefanski. Great buys. So not only grading cards is going to make you money, but buying the right stuff to send in for grading, you can just make bonkers money. So that's 7 lessons I learned after spending over $2 million in cards. There's a free PDF down below in the description. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.